When the dream appears in your mind, that's because you're in the receiving mode of source energy. So that when the dream comes in your mind, so much of the summoning process, so much of the gathering process, so much has already happened that your desire is now 99% already complete. And for the desire to sort of download, for you to realize and clearly state, okay, I want this is my dream, then that means that you're so much more along the way in your receiving mode, in your receiving process of this vibration that will turn into the manifestation. Because that's the thing, is your reality right now is, well, what you want is a vibrational reality right now. Everything that you want is given to you. Ask and is always given to you in the vibrational form. So that means that everything that life has caused you to want is already a vibrational reality. So that's really good to know, because it does exist, right? It is vibrating out there. So it's never fully absent. It's just something that you can't yet see. But the thing is, if you're so obsessed with what you can't yet see, and so you're not able to believe in your desire or feel good in it, because your real work is to make the dream feel good to you for as long as you can. You have to make the dream feel good to you until basically it manifests. Because if you don't make the dream feel good to you, then you're not gonna have fun in the moment, one, which is a real prize. The emotion is a real prize, meaning feeling good in the now moment. With the dream, using the dream as a reason to feel good. When a dream feels good to you, that life feels fun and jubilant and bouncy and frisky, and you just feel like you can have anything. You feel invincible, you feel creative, you feel on fire, you feel passionate, and you feel like you're thriving. You feel like the world is your oyster, because it is, and you feel like you're just ready for life, because you know that this is something that you can have. You feel in alignment with it. You're in the receiving mode of that desire. So now you're receiving from the vortex. But when there's a dream that you've been dreaming and you're thinking in contradiction to your desire, there really is nothing more uncomfortable. A desire that you don't allow to feel good is one of the worst things in the world. And that truly is what your negative emotion is all about. That's why you tell people, I don't feel good, because you have a desire that you're denying yourself. And the reason why you deny your desire, the reason why you contradict yourself, the reason why you don't allow the momentum to allow the momentum to do its work, the reason why you don't allow law of attraction, which is the same thing as momentum, because law of attraction is the momentumizer. Law of attraction is the reason why there's some such thing as momentum. It's really the same subject. It's the same sort of conversation, and one without the other is not a complete conversation. And in this conversation, we're going to talk about momentum, mainly what momentum, because the thing is, when you want something, it's already given to you. So that dream, when it comes into your mind, it's like a seed, and that seed will sprout into the plant. So you don't have to do anything, because it's only a game of receptivity. It's a game of being in the receiving mode. And the thing is, when you're in the receiving mode, you don't feel like acting all the time. The impulse to act only comes at not particular moments, but the action that you feel inclined to do or inspired to do, that you just can't help but feel like, oh, this is something that I have to do, because you line the energy up. Once you line the energy up, and once you're really in the vortex, then when you get the inspired action, so it's not just a dream in your mind, now it's something that you're actually physically doing. That action is so fun. And you know what's so fun about that action? And do you know why it doesn't come as often when you're in the vortex? Because when you're in the vortex, you're already living the vibrational reality. You're living the emotional experience. You're already emotionally there. You already feel the way that your desire feels. So in that sort of receptivity, now you don't need to do anything with your action. You don't need to create with your action. So in the vortex, you're not using your action to create. And that's why the impulses don't come all the time. That's why the impulses, when they come, they're always powerful. And the reason why they're powerful is because at first it seems like just a good idea, and then it always leads you to what you want along the path of least resistance. So it comes to you really fast. It leads you right to what you want. You do less, you act less, and you get more. Your action is leveraged, and that's what the power of the vortex really is. But you know what's really hard to, it's hard to really want something and want it and then not see it. Look in this reality and not see it and then want it. That strong desire, especially when you have beliefs in contradiction to that strong desire, is so uncomfortable. And you aren't like many other people. Most people, life just doesn't touch them in that way, where they're wanting things. Life doesn't cause strong desire, but for those who life causes such strong desire that anytime they get, in opposition to their desire, it hurts them. That negative emotion just hits them like a car. This video is really for you, because you have these dreams, and when they feel that strong, that means that there really is so much momentum. You feel just ready to pop. But the only thing that hangs you up, the only thing that ever slows your desires down, the only thing that makes your dream not feel good to you anymore, which means you basically can't in this moment receive the full version of it, is the fact that you don't see it right now. You're spending more of your time focusing on this what is. You're spending all of your time noticing the absence of it. And that's because this reality, it's not that reality is bad. It's just that it's your belief, it's your perception that this reality is the real reality, because I can see it. When you see something and you think that, okay, this is real, so that it's your perception that this is a real, tangible reality. And that sort of belief that this is the real reality makes you give all of your attention to it. And so the thing is, when you're only focusing on a reality that you can see with your eyes, especially when that reality doesn't have what you want in it, then you can't manifest what you want. You can't be a receiver of what you do want because you're only focusing on what you don't want. And the thing is, that's how life is though, because this moment is your platform. You can't just cease to exist. You can't even pretend to not see what you're seeing. And that's not what we're saying. We're saying that you stand where you stand, and right now where you stand is your platform. It's literally like you're bouncing off your bouncing off point. And the thing is, the balance really is noticing what you don't want and then noticing what you do want. So that's what desire is. That's where desire is born from. Desire is born from noticing what you don't want, right? But the thing is, when you don't want something and you clearly know, you clearly defined, okay, I do want this. The thing is, instead of focusing on what you do want, you're only focusing on what you don't want, because what you don't want is what you're seeing right now with your eyes. But what you do want is still a vibrational reality. It's still forward. It still feels future tense. Well, the thing is, since the desire was born in an environment, and in that same environment, if you observe that environment where the desire was born from, then you're not going to be a match to the desire you gave birth to, right? Because the environment, the reality that you're looking at is telling you or showing you the opposite of what you're wanting now. And so we took some time so you could really clearly understand that, because the thing is, you can't observe a reality. And what we're saying is, this reality that you think is real is not real. It's your vibrational interpretation. So what that means is, it's not worth your time to think. A creator like you, who has energy that creates worlds literally flowing through them, and wherever you focus, source energy literally runs to, focus. That's what momentum is, right? Because you're working with the laws of the universe. You're working with source energy. You are source energy. And a source energy extension like you, an extension of source energy like you, should not only be focusing on a reality that they can see. But the thing is, when you only think that you're physical, then what you can see is the whole enchilada. But the thing is, it's not really like, it's not really what you think it is. It's more vibrational. You're more vibrational. So that means observe less and feel more. You have to feel for what you want because you can't see it yet. But the thing is, if you're so hell-bent on seeing it right now, right, then you're more, when you're obsessed with the outcome and not in love with the process, then do you know what happens? Then the fact that it's now here is going to really bother you. It's going to shut your dream down. But what we're saying is, you can't shut your dreams down without feeling negative emotion. And so you have two options. It's either you let go of your desire, you give up on it, you tell the universe, I don't want this anymore. And then so then you can, be sloppy on that topic, or you can get up to speed with it. And we're telling you, you can only get up to speed with it. You can never let go of your desire. You can let go of the resistance. You can let go of your effort. You can let go of not needing to see it right now. You can let go of all that stuff. So what can you do if you want to manifest something? What's something applicable? What's something that you can apply in actual world that you could do that would put you in a good sort of reception of it? Because that's what it's all about. It's all momentum. Well, right? Because the thing is, if you focus on the feeling of what you want, the why you want it, then you're in a better place to receive what you want. In fact, you're in the best place to receive, because usually why you sort of have your desires blocked off from being able to fully receive them is because you're worried about the how, the when, the details that really are not your work. The only job that you have to do, the only thing that you have to focus on is the why. Why do you want it? And you don't need to prove it to the universe. You don't need to make a case to the universe. You need to feel it, because when you ask why, you're in the momentum of your desire. You're practicing a vibration that will allow you to see what you want. You're mastering your desire when you talk about why you want it. So why do you want it? What is it going to feel like? What's over there that you don't have right now? What does it feel like? What does it feel like? And use words that feel good to you, right? Because you're not just trying to make a list. You're trying to use words that are general and simple in nature to strike a chord within you. And when you find that one word that just strikes a chord within you, focus on it longer. And it just takes 17 seconds. And momentum, because think about momentum is that your desires would have manifested, but the thing is, you're doing something that's slowing it down. You're doing something that's contradicting. You're going the opposite direction. But the thing is, any time that you're going in opposite direction of your desire, you're feeling with negative emotion. That's what your GPS system is all about. So that means that it's either, right, because if you're saying, well, I don't know why it's not manifesting, that it can only mean two things. It means that you're more used to negative emotion, so you're not as sensitive, or you're just, you know what it is? It is really only that. It's not two, it's only one thing. It's just that you don't have awareness of what you're feeling, right? Or well, the second reason could be then that you're lying about how you feel. Ooh, you're lying about how you feel. But the thing is, you can't lie to the law of attraction. The law of attraction can, it can read you. It can feel your vibration. It's giving you what your vibration countenance is, and that's what it's all about. How you feel. It's not about thoughts. It's really about how you feel. And the thing is, when you focus on a reality that's old reality, and what you want isn't there, then you can't get there from there. You have to feel for it. You have to feel for where it is. You have to feel for the vibrational reality, because there is a reality right now but it's in vibrational form. And no one really likes to think of it this vibrational reality, because you're so obsessed with what you can see. And so if you only focus on what you can see, because that's what most people do, they are offering all of their vibration in response to literally what they're seeing and what they're smelling and what they're tasting and what happened yesterday and what happened the day before, because they could see it. So because you can see it, you think, okay, this is a real reality. The reality that's in my head is not real, because the daydreams are not real. The dream isn't real because I'm not able to see it. But we're like, it's all vibrational interpretation. Even for you to see a dream in your mind is you receiving from some radio channel, from some sort of channel, so to speak, from some receiving mode. And so you want to keep the dream alive because of how it feels. You want to be less invested in the outcome. You want to ask yourself why you want it so that you can feel it. Because now that you understand that, okay, this is our old reality, now you're not going to focus on it. Because the thing is, we're not going to tell you don't focus on this reality, because then it's still active in your vibration. When you try to focus on something, when you try to not focus on something, then it's still active in your vibration because you're trying not to focus on it. And every time you not focus on it, it becomes more active in your vibration. So instead, just be gentle with yourself and be nice to yourself and be like, well, this is the old reality. And catch yourself when you're observing it and when you're talking about it and when you're justifying it, when you're explaining it, and when you're sort of, double downing on it and more explaining, going into detail and just relitigating in your mind. Just, catch it early and be like, well, this is the old reality. So I could talk about it. The thing is, you could talk about reality, but the thing, it's just old. It doesn't matter. And so a creator like you, it's just kind of, it's not like you're wasting your time, because you can't waste your time, but it's like you could be receiving your desire. You could be moving in the direction of what you want instead of only asking. And so really, you want to spend more time dreaming, because now you understand something that's so important. And now you understand something that you never really understood, which is that reality, this physical reality that you can see, is the old reality. You don't have to focus on it anymore. It doesn't matter. Your conditions, how your life currently is right now, the money you have in your bank, the way that your body looks like right now, it does not matter. And the reason why it doesn't matter isn't because you know why it doesn't matter? Because it's the old reality. It does not have any bearing on what will come. But you know what though? Your expectation, which is just is basically just how you meet, how your desire and belief really meet, right? Is what you expect. Usually your expectation about your desires is based on how things have been going. So you don't really expect big things for yourself because you haven't seen it, because your expectation is based on the law of average of other people, of what other people have manifested. So you're not reaching for things that are more interesting to you because you're like, oh, I don't want to be, met with resistance. And so we're like, but you can handle resistance. You don't want to slow down your desire. You want to catch up with the big desire. You want to catch up with the fast stream, because those big desires, the reason why they feel big is because they're fast. And we're saying you can't make them smaller. You can ask, but you can go general on them. You can ask yourself why you want it and get into alignment with it, because all you have to do is focus on that vibrational essence. And literally, as you talk about why you want it, momentum will happen then and there. There will be ideas that start flooding in your mind, because at first it's a thought and then it's an emotion. And if that emotion feels good, then you're on the channel of it. And now it's almost like don't mess it up. But that's not even the best way to say it, because then you're trying not to do something. And when you try not to do it, you do it even more. So you have to do something else. And so you want to do it for the emotion, because when you're doing it for the emotion, there's kind of no resistance in that, right? When you're doing it for the emotion, you're not thinking about, the thing is you could, but now you understand that you don't have to. You don't have to only focus on a reality that you can see, because you're used to it though. You're used to looking at a reality because you feel responsible to it. You feel like, because so many people around you have been like, hey, you have to focus on this reality. There's this happening. You need to pay attention. You need to pay attention, because if you're not paying attention, then you're dreaming. And if you're dreaming, then you're not being productive. You're not acting. And we're saying, well, you want to dream more. You don't want to observe a reality, especially when it doesn't feel good to do it. When you don't like your reality, then you can focus elsewhere. You can focus elsewhere. And what can you focus on? The vibrational reality. You can focus on your dreams, and when you focus on your dreams, you feel so good. But when you introduce a reality where your dream isn't in, and you only focus on that, then you don't feel good. And that's what we're saying. We're like, do it for the feeling. Do the dream for the feeling. Do the why for the feeling. Talk about why you want everything for the feeling. Do it all for the emotional reason. And when you do it for the emotional reason, then you know what it is? It's like, that's the hack, because now you're in the receiving mode. It's easier to find the receiving mode. It's hard to find something that you can't experience with your eyes, but you can experience it with your emotion. And when you experience it with your emotion, now you're in the receiving mode of it, and now momentum will start to it'll start to increase in the direction of wanted. And when the momentum increases in the direction of wanted, then your experience is one of manifestation happening over and over again. But you can't observe a reality and manifest what you want, but you could start positive momentum right now. You could talk about what you want, why you want it. And when you talk about why you want it, it will literally start to manifest